It's Wednesday, December 22nd, 2022. Not really sure where I'm going to begin the show today. There's a few things I want to talk about. I printed out some notes, and feel free to comment on anything you want to comment about down below in the comments. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share this video, and make sure that you hit the bell notification so that you are alerted when the newest video is dropped. None of this will be in order today, but I was reading an article from the Hollywood Reporter this afternoon, and it's titled, High Profile LA Crimes Spark Rush for Bulletproof Cars, Rolex Replicas, and Safe Rooms. And if you get a chance, read this article. This is another reason why I'm leaving California. And I see there's people in the comments saying that I'm never going to move. Look, my plan is to move to Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen. I've been in touch with numerous real estate agents. I'll be talking to more people after the beginning of the year. And I'm getting all my ducks in a row. Now, it's not always that easy just to pack up and leave everything that you've grown up with since high school here in California, coming here from Chicago, finishing my last year of high school here. When you have business here, you have family here, there's, loose ends that you have to tie up before you leave. It's not like you can just pack up and leave next week or next month. It's not that easy, especially when you have business here, family here, and literally most of your life right here. But I'm getting all my ducks in a row, getting all my finances in order to make this happen. I'm looking at buying a 20, 30, 40 acre ranch in Kentucky. That's my goal. That's my plan. And right now, it looks like that's going to happen. So I bring this up because as I read this article today in the Hollywood Reporter, it's literally Escape from LA. What is happening here throughout the state? It's not just happening in LA, but it's happening all over. But there is an absolute explosion of crime in Los Angeles. Retail robberies and home burglaries are exploding, and it's happening in the nicest, wealthiest areas. They will take your dog. I think we remember when Lady Gaga's dog walker got shot and they stole her, I believe they were French bulldogs. They will take your Rolex watch, your Patek Philippe, your wallet, your car, any type of jewelry you have. They will take your life. It's happening in Santa Monica, Bel Air, Brentwood, Beverly Hills. Violent crime in Beverly Hills in the last 12 months is up 25%. That's astonishing to think that Beverly Hills would even have crime. Crime is beginning to explode. And so in this article, people living in these wealthy areas like Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, they're installing safe rooms, safe doors, underground bunkers in some cases, private security, 24/7 security details. I mean, it's unbelievable what is happening. And I think to myself, and I know many of you are thinking the same thing, what does this look like in 2022? What does this look like the longer this economy erodes and decays? What's it going to look like when the markets crash? Now, I know the market's up today. Everything's fine. Everybody's going to be complacent. Nobody's worried about risk. You know as well as I do, this cannot continue. And when the stock market goes, everything is going to go with it. It's the one beacon of hope. It's the little bit of light that they have is, oh, look, everything's okay. The stock market is doing incredible. So everything's fine. Oh, the housing market's doing fine. So nothing to worry about. Although we know that all of this is Fed money in these markets. We know it's institutional money propping up the real estate market. We know it's all artificial with these massively low interest rates. How can this all be going in a positive direction when you have 107 million people not in the labor force, when you have millions of people every month quitting their jobs? It's impossible. It's impossible. Again, just like the market's being manipulated, much of these statistics are being manipulated. But again, getting back to this story, safe rooms, safe doors, underground bunkers, private security. It's just really astonishing to read this. You would think like this was another country. Maybe this is happening in some war zone. No, it's happening right in some of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the entire country. I was just about to look at a Dutch Shepherd, a KMPV Dutch Shepherd from Holland that worked shortly for a department. And I'm going to be looking at this dog and possibly buying this dog for my own security for my ranch. I definitely believe that it's really important to have a big dog or even a small dog as a deterrent. But, if you have the means, if you have the ability, if you can buy yourself a well-trained big dog like a Dutch Shepherd or a Malinois or German Shepherd, something of that nature, I think it's a wise investment. Many of you, if you go back to my videos a couple of years ago when I'd be out training at Adler Horse Police Canine in Riverside, where I spent many years working my own dogs, there are probably more and more people, private citizens, civilians, going there and buying dogs now than ever before. I don't know that for a fact, but I will definitely be talking to some people over there in the next couple of weeks looking for a good dog for my move. And I will definitely be taking a look at it. But if it's not this dog, maybe it will be another dog, but it will more than likely be from Adler Horse. It will definitely more than likely be a KMPV European dog, well trained. So these are the kind of things we have to think about now. Somebody wrote me earlier today, JB, gold and silver isn't going to do you any good. Basically, don't even prepare. There's no reason to prepare. It's nothing you can do. I think that's the worst advice anybody could give you, is to do nothing. That just sit around and wait for everything to implode and wait to lose everything that you've worked for, wait to be robbed, stand in a food line, be dependent on the system. That's the worst advice anybody could possibly give you, is to do nothing. Look, gold and silver, to me, are the two most undervalued assets on planet Earth. Will they serve a purpose? Yes, they will. More than likely after the collapse, after the dust settles, when we need real money. Will they be worth anything during a collapse? Absolutely. They have always been worth something during a collapse, usually worth more than any other type of money, because it is the only real money, gold and silver. So to this individual that's telling me not to worry about gold and silver, that's fine. But you better worry about food. You better worry about water. You better worry about your safety. You better worry about having a plan. You better worry about your kids. You should worry about your future, your pensions, your 401ks, and your monopoly fiat money that who knows how much longer it will have any value. I do believe you have to have some dollars put away, but it'll probably more than likely be the last of all the currencies to go down. But eventually it is going to go down, ladies and gentlemen. But I think you have to have it right now at this time. But at the end of the day, I think you go back to simplicity. You go back to real money. You go to gold and silver. But do you have food? Do you have water? Are you an asset? Do you have a skill set to get through bad times? This individual apparently has none of that. He's just going to wait till it happens and then just be a victim of all this. And that's fine. You have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. You can choose to be proactive. You can choose to do nothing. That's up to you. That's free will. I think for myself, and the more I see what is happening, I critically think more and more for myself, and I begin to think more and more outside of the box, because what we're witnessing is not normal. If you are not seeing the red flags by now, I don't know what to tell you. But again, you can prepare or you can choose not to prepare. I choose to prepare. And no, it is not all about gold and silver. Gold and silver are the last things that I prepare with. And I believe that gold and silver really will have value after all of this is done. We're going to have to see markets and currencies really collapse before I think we see a real hard run in gold and silver. But in the meantime, will you be able to eat? Will you be able to have water? Will you be able to find work? Do you have a skill set? Do you know how to do something? Will you be able to protect yourself? These are the things you have to ask yourself. Can you stay warm in a cold climate? Can you stay cool in a hot climate? These are the things you have to ask yourself. If you're in the Midwest in a winter and the power goes out, are you going to be able to stay warm? If you're out here in the desert in July, are you going to be able to stay cool? Look, we all know that there are going to be, at some point, times that we are going to see the power go out. We are going to see quite possibly cyber attacks, grids going down, electricity out, more freaky weather. Look, there is going to be a lot coming, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe we're going to see a lot in 2022. And me personally, I'm preparing, and nobody can cover every base. Nobody can be 100% prepared, but we have to do everything we can to put the odds in our favor for the worst case scenario. Look, I hope nothing bad happens. I hope I never have to use my gold or silver. I hope that things don't get bad, but we all know where this is going. It's so obvious. Administration extends moratorium on student loan payments through May 1st. So this now allows 44 million people not to have to pay on this debt, while there are 11 million jobs out there. So that just read that today. The administration extends moratorium on student loan payments through May 1st. If things were so good, I watch the television, I watch these business shows daily. They're telling you and I that the economy is booming. It's quite literally booming. The consumer is strong. Everything is going incredibly well. If you're not in these markets, you're missing out. Everything's good. But why do they have to extend this moratorium for student loan debt if everything is so great? And why can't these 44 million people find a job when there's 11 plus million jobs out there available? Please comment down below. I'd like to know your thoughts on it. Here's another one. Existing home sales disappoint in November as first-time buyers struggle in divided society. Analysts expected a 3% jump month over month in November. We actually saw 1.9% month over month rise. Existing home sales are down 1.97% year over year. And this is with all the help of institutional money. The median selling price rose 13.9% from a year ago, now near $354,000 for a medium priced home. This marks 117 straight months of year over year increases. What could possibly go wrong, ladies and gentlemen? 117 straight months of year over year increases. What could go wrong? No, there's no bubble out there, right? Incredible. I'll tell you who's not hurting, and it's the 1%. Here's another article today in the Boston Globe. Super luxury home sales surge across America, rising 35% in 2021. The 1% are doing very, very well. So while a majority of Americans fall behind, we just witnessed in the last year and a half hundreds, they don't even tell us, hundreds of thousands of businesses decimated, gone, never coming back. 80% of this country lives paycheck to paycheck. Much of this country who is renting or owns a home is spending half their paycheck, half their income, just on that mortgage, just on that rent. But 40 residential properties here in America sold for more than $50 million, a record year for multi-million-dollar home sales. But you got a $2,000 stimulus check, you got an extra $600 a week, so you were able to go out and buy a big screen, put down a couple bucks, buy a new car. But look, people really think that they got something, and what they did was they got robbed. They got robbed. So people got complacent. They sat at home. They were able to go out and buy a new car, buy some toys, pay down the credit cards a little bit. But now many of them are realizing that those jobs that they once had are gone. And now they're sitting home with their unemployment expiring, or it has already expired. They're sitting at home now 2-3 car payments behind. Many people sitting at home not knowing how they're going to pay the mortgage. They're in talks with their banks on mortgage modifications. And now they don't know what they're going to do because the money's run out. They got everybody hooked on a quick fix here, and it ran out, and now it's over. And now the retailers don't see the shoppers because they don't have any money. So we either have people who want to work, who can't find a job, who can't return back to their old jobs because they're gone. We have people quitting their jobs. We have people getting fired from their jobs. We have people who are burned out from their jobs. We have people who just will not go back to work for multiple reasons. This thing is a mess. And in the meantime, the small, medium business owner who can't fill those job openings is in big trouble, very big trouble, because he can't, if you need 9 people to run your restaurant or your small business and you can only get 3 people to work there, you're going to have problems. And the small, medium business owners are running into very, very big trouble here. And I think in 2022, we're going to see a lot more businesses land up gone. Peter Schiff, Jim Rickards is wrong about inflation. This on the Hedge today. I watched an interview with Jim Rickards about a week ago. He was on Stansberry Research. Love the show. Stansberry Research, phenomenal show. If you've never watched it, check it out. But Jim Rickards was on, and love him or hate him, agree with him, don't agree with him. He was, I think, really out of it on this one. He just said, look, we're at the height of inflation now. As we enter 2022, inflation is going to come down. Basically, inflation, we've hit the high point. It's maxed out. So I totally disagree. Look, Jim Rickards is a highly intelligent guy, but I totally disagree. I agree with Peter Schiff here. He is completely wrong. I think inflation is going to run absolutely wild in 2022. There was an interview with Peter Schiff also on Zero Hedge, and they interviewed him in this article, and it's titled Real Interest Rates, the Missing Puzzle. So a lot of people say, well, why hasn't gold gone up more? And look, personally, I don't really care. I've been buying gold since 2005 when it was $500. It's 1804 as I make this video, and nothing bad's happened yet. Wait till bad things happen. Then you'll see what happens with gold and with silver. But why hasn't it? I mean, honestly, I do get perturbed at times. Many of you probably gotten upset not seeing gold and silver moving like we know it should. But a lot of people, I think, are anticipating these rate hikes and raising rates, as we know historically, not good for gold. It's actually seen as a negative for gold. But people figure, as Peter says here, people figure that with rising rates, it's better to buy bonds or put dollars in a money market. But here's the problem. Real rates are 0%. Inflation is 7.3%. So the real rate is negative 7.3%. And that's what people don't understand. But I will even go a step further and say that real rates are much higher, because I agree with John Williams, shadowstats.com, that the real inflation is 15%. So that would put real rates at negative 15%. So they may say that they're going to raise rates, and that historically isn't great for gold. But if you're not raising rates above the real inflation number, inflation is going to continue to rise, and you need to be protecting yourself, in my opinion. I don't give financial advice, sharing these articles with you, but you need to be protecting yourself. So if they raise rates 3 times at a quarter basis point, that will be at less than 1% by the end of 2022, when right now inflation's over 7%. And that's not going to do anything. So your dollars, your bonds are going to be destroyed. So I think it's probably a good idea to own some gold, to own some silver. There's no reason to think real rates will turn positive anytime soon, according to Peter Schiff. They can push fake, and this is me speaking now, they can push fake gold contracts on the exchanges, 500 paper fiat contracts to 1 ounce of gold, similar thing that they're doing to silver. They can push cryptos. But the 1% know what gold is going to do. And this is why they own gold. This is why the 1%, this is why the central banks, this is why governments like India and Russia and China own gold. Again, somebody asked me at lunch about 2 weeks ago, why hasn't gold gone up, JB? Ask JP Morgan, ask the manipulation, ask them why they got fined $920 million for manipulating precious metals markets. 500 paper fiat contracts to 1 ounce of gold. That's what's happening right now. And that's why the price of gold is down. But I think this is a great time to take advantage of it, because this is the COMEX price, and we will see a separation, as we're already seeing a little bit already. You can't buy an ounce of gold for $1,800. It's going to cost you about $1,950, closer to $2,000 for an ounce of gold. That's the physical price. Now the paper price, yeah, it's $1,804 today. But as long as this paper price keeps pushing down the price of gold and silver, I'm a buyer. I'm going to continue to buy hard, tangible, undervalued assets like gold and silver. And I don't care why they're being pushed down. Anything on sale. If you could go buy a Mercedes for half off tomorrow, you would do it. If you could go to the grocery store tonight and go buy steak 50% off, would you complain or would you be happy? Everybody complaining that it's not doing something. I believe gold and silver will do what it needs to do when it needs to do it. And that's going to be when things really get bad, when the economy is imploding at a rate we've never ever seen, when these markets implode. And this is when I believe you're going to see real money rise to the top. Look, that's my opinion. That's how I see it. Again, I don't give financial advice. I could be totally wrong, but this is how I see it from the data and from reading history. I'm going to stick with gold and silver, and mainly gold. American workers are burned out and bosses are struggling to respond. This is an article today I was reading. If people are already burned out right now, people are literally having anxiety, mental issues. Look, everything that's happening, it is really getting stressful out there. People are stressed. But ask yourself, what is this going to look like in 2022? If people right now are burned out, stressed out, so many people reliant on pharmaceuticals, they have such anxiety, people have depression. Again, let me remind everybody as I wrap up this video, suicide is skyrocketing, drug use skyrocketing, alcohol skyrocketing, all this abuse. You're going to see domestic abuse skyrocketing. It's all up, ladies and gentlemen. All this stuff is up across the board. And I just ask that all of you make sure that you're checking on your loved ones, friends, family members, maybe even somebody you don't really know that well. Just make sure people are okay. This is the worst time of year, the holidays, where people really feel lonely. They really feel distraught. I know that there's a lot of people out there watching this video right now, and they're watching this video and they think that they're the only ones that are going through these things, or they're watching this economy unfold. They're being affected by it. They're running out of money. They got kids to feed, and you think you're alone. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not alone. Trust me, there are millions of people that are in the same boat that you are, that see the same thing coming that you do. And I hope that you are preparing, that you have the ability to prepare, and that you have been preparing. And you're not the only ones out there. You are not alone. There are, just read the comments down below. Please read the comments down below. There are a lot of people that are awake and know what is happening and what's coming. And look, there are people out there very nervous, very, very concerned, and rightfully so. And this is the time to get worried. It's the time to get concerned. And it takes that concern and that worry for us to get proactive, to prepare, to really engage with what's happening and get ready. So again, none of you are alone. And if you are feeling alone, if you are really feeling like your anxiety's out of control, if you're having bad thoughts, reach out to somebody at the church, call up a church, call up a priest, call an 800 number, call a family member, but don't do anything to hurt yourself. Don't harm, it's not worth it. We are all going to get through this. So look, I know I'm babbling all over the place today. As I close, you can always reach out for help. I know that these are very, very rough times during the holidays. It's not worth doing any harm to yourself or anybody else. Just reach out to a pastor, a priest, to an 800 number. And look, I'm praying for all of you, and I want to thank all of you for praying for me. And look, if you need somebody to pray for you, just comment down below, and people will see that. Because I'll tell you, people have been praying for me for a while now, and I could not do this if it wasn't for all your prayers and support. So we really need to not be fighting with one another. This is a time to really be coming together and to be waking people up, to be praying for people, and to just really be leaders and really letting people know what's happening. We really need to get vocal, and we really need to be sharing these messages and the real information with people so that they're not going to be taken by surprise. Look, time is running out, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running out. And I'm going to continue to make these videos and wake up as many people as I can. Thanks for the comments down below, because those comments wake up so many people. We got to stick together. We got to continue to wake people up. We all need to be preparing so we can take care of ourselves and our families. And at the end of the day, we are responsible for our families and ourselves before everyone else. But again, there's people out there that have no idea what's going on, and they may ignore this. That's on them. But there are people every day also waking up. In fact, I think there's more people now awake than any other time in my life, to be honest with you. So keep up the great work. I'm going to leave it there this evening. God bless all of you. Thanks for the prayers. Thanks for the incredible mail, the Christmas cards, the donations, everything. We're going to make sure that we get that out to help some homeless people and their pets. God bless. Talk to all of you very, very soon.